it's not even Monday, it's Tuesday. That's right, because yesterday was Christmas. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Um, I had a really good Christmas. A really good Christmas. My daughter, the things that she wanted, and I knew that she would play with, she got, and she was super excited. And it was so funny, y'all. I was so exhausted, and I set my alarm because I was doing work Christmas Eve trying to do my job stuff, which I didn't have to, but I didn't want to deal with the hassle when I came back to work. So I did a last minute like Christmas shopping, like last minute Christmas shopping. I gotta turn this light off. And I got my mom and my daughter some things, and my daughter was really. It was funny because when I set the alarm like around 2:30 in the morning, and I was wrapping gifts, but I was a little bit under the weather. And once I finished, I think I finished like around 4 in the morning, almost 4 in the morning. And I went straight to bed, and I took some medication and went straight to bed. Turn this off. So when my daughter woke up, she was like, "Hi, mommy. I love you, mommy." And I was like, "Hey, sweet. Love you too." And I just said, "Merry Christmas." And her eyes kind of popped out her head like, "It's Christmas?" She ran downstairs, and then she ran upstairs and was like, "Mommy, mommy, there's gifts under the tree." And I said, "Oh, really? Where did those come from?" And I've been asking her too. I asked her, "Where did those gifts come from?" She don't say Santa Claus. She just said under the tree. Because I told her, this is what we going to do. We going to pray and ask God for some stuff. Because I don't care. I'm not giving no credit to no white dude in a fat white dude in a suit. We're just not doing it. We're not. Not when I sat up there at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I don't even mention it for real, for real. But I just told her, and it was crazy because I was looking for this book that she wanted. She wanted this book, and she liked it so much so that when she used it in school, the school library, you gotta take it back. And she didn't want to take this book back, and I said, "Symphony, you have to take that book back now." And she took the book back, so I was looking for the book, and I couldn't find it, and I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to order it, and I forgot I was gonna have to order it. And my sister let me use her card for Sam's Club, and I was in Sam's Club getting a couple of things, and lo and behold, there it was, the daggone book she wanted. And I knew that was nothing but God. God will put things in your path and be like, "Here you go." And I'd be like, "Dad, Lord, how did you know?" So she got everything she wanted, which is the simplest things. She wanted a horn, skateboard, a whole bunch of games, some clothes. She wanted a horn, a skateboard. She did want a Nintendo Switch. But the thing about my daughter is right now she has an iPad and she has a cell phone. But the cell phone is connected to like the internet, and she watches her shows, and she downloads games every 3 seconds. She's on a new kid-friendly game. And I know with that Nintendo Switch, those games are limited. And I know for a fact my daughter will play it. And if the graphics are too much for her, or if it's too whatever, she will put it to the side. So I asked her, I said, "Are you sure you want a Nintendo Switch?" And I said, "Because Tiffany, you already got games and stuff." So I was waiting for her to be like, "No, Mommy, I really want it." She said, okay, I want a skateboard and a horn. I said, okay. And of course I added other things and other toys and stuff like that. But I was waiting for her to mention that Nintendo Switch. Now, one time did she mention this, which means she must have saw it on a commercial or something, but it didn't even, it wasn't like, "Oh, it's the Nintendo Switch," or, so I'm grateful I didn't go above and beyond to get something that I knew my daughter wouldn't like. I think a lot of parents, number one, I'm guilty of this, but I've been saying this. We got to go back to what Christmas is really about, especially Christians. It's Jesus' birthday. I'm not going broke buying $1,000 gifts and then look back and be like, ooh, I forgot the water bill, the light bill, the mortgage, and the car note and car insurance. All that was due. I'm just trying to figure out why this car so daggone close to me. So I had an amazing time with the event that I went to. But I will say this, I was busting out the seams of that dress. My mother had to help me put that dress on, which was crazy because 2 weeks ago I put the dress on and I asked my daughter to zip me up. I said, zip mommy up. She zipped me up, no problem. This time she was like, go ask grandma. I gained so much weight and I was like, oh my goodness. And a lot of me gaining the weight is because, number one, I haven't been working out. I've been sitting 8-9 hours a day. You know how it is when you're doing overtime and you're sitting at the same daggone seat. You're not using muscles. And when you're not using muscles, with whatever you eat, it's just, you're like a sinking ship. And so, and another thing too, I'm not gonna lie, I've been partying. I went out with my sister on Friday. Me and her, we made amends. We went out and had an amazing time. But with that, we were sipping. And then I went out to that event with, oh, sorry, my job had a holiday party. And we had so much fun, y'all. We was like kids out there. I really love my job. We was sipping. Then I went out with my sister. I was sipping. Then I went out to the gala event. I was sipping. I was like, I don't even want to see alcohol. I don't want to see wine. I just want to drink water. If I want a little bit of tang to anything, I'm going to add me some, what's that stuff called? Vinegar. You know, Mom's Bragg vinegar. And some lemon juice and make me a cocktail. I'm like, I am trying to like slow all the way back down from drinking. Like, I only want to drink on occasions and only want to drink the good stuff. But I'm not going to lie, I've been partying like a rock star. And I need to like really like get myself together because my body had been aching. Because when I'm out there moving and dancing and even when we went to our event and was playing with some of those games, my back and legs and stuff was hurting. It felt like a mule kicked the mess out of me. So going into the New Year's, I gotta work out and I gotta lose 30 pounds. I gotta lose 30 pounds. Right now my weight is 160, which I'm pissed because I put in all that work some years ago, losing 40 pounds, and I hit my target weight, and then I went back to eating cakes, ice cream, cookies, pasta, snacks, eating in the middle of the night. Like, what the hell? So, I mean, excuse my mouth. But you get what I'm saying. So, going into the New Year's, I got to work out. I have to work out. And I have to literally practice good habits, not just working out just to lose weight, but really applying it to a life routine. I would really like to lose 40 pounds, which I think I can, but I'm okay to lose 30 pounds. These things got to come off me quick because when I looked at some of my photos, I was like, oh my gosh, my stomach looked like one. My stomach looks so huge. Even the girdle ain't doing me no justice. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to do all of this. I'm like, you know what? I just got to get rid of cookies, sugar, coffee, like things that are just not good. It's just so hard to let that stuff go. It is. When you get used to drinking your coffee in the morning, you be wanting your cup of joe and be like, and it's just like, I'm just not going to add any creamer to it. I'm trying to figure out like, why is my face breaking out at 41? You know what I mean? So going to the new year, I'm definitely going to be practicing good habits, eating habits where I don't have to feel like I got to go on a diet again or be restricted. Because if you got good eating habits, you don't have to do all of that. And I realized, like, Mona, here you are again looking in the mirror like, why is everything so wide? Why can't I fit into these pants that was so baggy on me? You know it's bad when you be like, they used to be so baggy. They used to be so baggy. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna literally start putting myself on regimens, which means I have to start really working out. I miss working out. I miss going jogging. I miss getting that good workout in and be like, yes, I'm at, you know, I'm at the beginning all over again, but that's okay because the results are going to be worth it. So I'm gonna start like jogging and running and just keeping it up. But see, I have to tell myself with everything, you have to maintain it. You have to apply it towards your habits, your overall habits, like your life, your cycle. Like it has to be applied to your routine. It can't just be, oh, I'ma just, I'ma just, fast this day, fast that day, only eat this. No, it needs to be applied. So I'm a little bit like whatever on that. Another thing too is I have to going into 2024. I'm gonna really start watching what I look at and not be so moved and compassionate about things that don't got nothing to do with me. Because I've been seeing things and it's been upsetting me and I've been talking about it, but I'm like, you know what? Some things is just like, Lord, I'm giving this over to you. I'm not saying nothing. Let me keep it moving. And worrying don't add on anything on your life. It can't take away, it could take away so much. It could take away time and stress. It'll give you stress. So I'm just trying to get life balance. I am trying to get new circles and new friends and just meet new people and not be so isolated. I really felt like I've isolated myself for the last couple of years, and I did a lot of that because dang, it is foggy out here. Like what is going, like y'all look at this. You know how it just dawned on you? I'm driving in the midst of the fog. Look at that. Cheapest to the creeps. So I feel like I isolated myself, and I did because I didn't want to be around foolishness, around drama. I didn't want to be around folks that was going to try to drag me into the opposite of where I came from. Well, drag me to where I came from, and so I kind of isolated. And y'all all know the deal too, what I went through with my last relationship. So I just, I kind of isolated myself where it was literally work home, work home, work home, work home. So I'm trying to get more out of the box and do a little bit more traveling. I am trying to make a decision by February whether or not I want to keep this ride that I'm in. So let me give y'all a backdrop. A couple of years ago, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, I was looking at a Mercedes-Benz truck, and I was like, oh, this was nice. The truck had really nice stitching, leather interior, and I was looking in the back to see if it had like room for me to haul stuff. It was a Benz, and I just thought it was really nice. And I remember taking a photo of that truck with me and my daughter. And I remember the lady coming out and she was like, that's a $50,000 truck. And I was like, I don't care. So I had prayed and asked God for a new car. I needed a 4x4 because where I live at, I didn't notice it until I looked around, and I noticed like, oh my gosh, everybody, all my next door neighbors got 4x4s, which means, Mona, you just moved over here and you know where you at. You got a sedan and you've never been in this area where it snowed. So you don't know how that snow could be, So I had been asking God for a new car, a new ride. Meantime, between time, my father, when he was alive, my father went and traded in his car, and he got a van. And when he got the van, when he called me, he said, I got a new van. And I was like, okay, Dad, how much is the note? He was like, you don't want to know. And I was like, all right, as long as you happy, I don't want to know. So eventually, some things happened with my father where he wasn't able to drive the vehicle. First of all, when I saw the car, I was like, Dad, all of your children are grown. What made you go out and get a van? You could barely, get up in it. And I'm like, this car is huge. So some things came down the pipeline where the note on the van was just a little bit too high for my dad. And at that time, he had to go through some healing with his feet and everything. So he couldn't even drive the car. And honestly, I was like, take it back. He tried to take it back. He couldn't. So then eventually he ended up in rehab, and I was like, just get rid of the car, let the repo folks come and take it. And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, you can't do that, because I need your credit to be good, because they wouldn't allow me to co-sign for my father when I was trying to move him into his new apartment, because he couldn't go up any steps anymore. So he moved into the new apartment, and it just so happened my mother's car clunked out. Her car had over 200,000 miles on it. So she took over my car, which was the 300M. She took over my car. And then I just started to drive this car that I'm in. And the note on this car, you ready? Y'all might be like, Mona, what's the note? The note on my car is $930 a month. When my father first told me what that was, I said, Dad. I remember I was like, but it's not even a Benz. But I will tell you this. When I was going through my dry season with the transition of the jobs, first of all, when my dad, when that all happened, my mom took over my car. I took over this car. I started to like it because I was paying a note, and then I was like, putting my father paying insurance either, because I'm driving it. So I just started to pay the whole thing. And then eventually, my dad, he had passed away, and so I had been in touch with Toyota, and they've been like, go ahead, and basically like they're just ready to go ahead and put the car in my name. But I have been like really holding my breath, because I'm like, do I really want to do this? Because I could be using an additional $900 plus the car insurance to go shopping. But then I have to be very honest. When I went through that season of, doing that real estate, and in between unemployed at the time, the car made me, drum roll please, the car made me $15,000. But that was only because I needed to, mom had to do what I had to do to get the coins to make sure bills was paid, and God made sure they was paid. You get me? So I'm grateful, and I look at it like, okay, a car could be a liability or an asset, but again, the asset is when you already had that money coming in to pay off car, because unless not, it's going to be like a ball and chain. And I'm like, do I really want to do this? So I've had the car for 2 years. I've had it in my possession for 2 years. And I remember renewing the tags on this car, and the tags run out in February. So I'm like thinking to myself, like, I could do two things. I can get another car that's way lower than the car payment. I can give this one up. And this too. When I was driving that 300M, that 300M cost me $60 every 2 days. $60 every 2 days. And then every time I turned around, I needed to get something, done on it. So that's not the type of vehicle that you want to, it takes me an hour to get to work. So this vehicle, it cost me $35 a week because it's a hybrid. And I had me a dream about the car, but like it was the maintenance on it. But then I had another dream where my other car wasn't able to make it through this puddle, through this storm. So I was like, I gotta get in my van, and I was able to jump in it. And I know that the word says that God will give you something and He won't add any sorrow to it. I will honestly say this though, since I've had the car, um, I can't go out spending like I used to. But another thing too is another big expense is the car insurance, which I got a lower quote because right now I've still been paying the car insurance that was originally on here. But all of that's about to come to an end. And I would save at least by 50%. I don't even want to tell y'all what the car insurance is. Because you'll be like, Mona, you've been doing what? I don't even want to tell you what the car insurance is. The car insurance is like a daggone car note. Okay? But I'm about to change that over. So I have until Tuesday to make a decision. And I feel like the note on this car, which was surprising to me that they had 7-year notes. So the remainder months left on this car will be 5 years. And I've already put $54,000, 54,000 miles on the car. I put 54,000 miles on this bird. Not my dad, me, driving from here to Timbuktu. But it's excellent on gas. It's roomy as heck. It has the leather interior. It is way better than that Mercedes Benz that I saw. It has sliding doors, the sliding back doors, it's sensor, and another thing that sold me on it is when my dad was in rehab, when he was in the hospital from after having surgery with his feet, there was a bad snowstorm that hit the area. And I was on the phone with my dad the entire time, and I was like, oh my, it looked like a bomb went off, like we was in a war zone. And cars were like on the side of the street. And this vehicle did so well, it surprised the mess out of me. Soon as I got in my area, of course they don't plow, the car was trucking through it, and I was like, what is this? The whole time I was making fun of my father, like, it's a Toyota! Oh, what? It's not even a Benz, Dad! And the whole time when I made it home, it was so nice too, because as soon as I pulled in my neighborhood, I was following the tracks of another car that made it. But the snow was so out there. It was cars on the side of the road, but this thing was like going through it like it was butter. I did not ski. I did not turn, nothing. And I was like, as soon as I pulled in my driveway, I just knew I'm going to have to get the machine out to get that snow out. And one of my next door neighbors, I don't even know who it was, bless their bones, they went in my driveway and they plowed all that snow out. That when I pulled in my driveway, I didn't even have to. And y'all, I have a long driveway. So in other words, remember I was saying I didn't know how it would be when it snowed. Oh, it's bad. You can't have a sedan up in there and think you're going to make it home, because you're going to be stuck on a hill somewhere. You're going to be in a ditch somewhere. So then when I got home, I was like, I had to look up the specs on this vehicle, and I was like, oh, it got 4x4. It got 4-wheel drive, but not 4x4. I got 4-wheel drive. I guess it's 4x4. So then I was like, oh, I really like the car. Then I told myself, okay, Mona, if I can drive all the way to Myrtle Beach without filling up the car, then I'm sold. Because I'm saving on gas, I'm saving on a lot of stuff, so I'm sold. So me and my cousin took the girls to Myrtle Beach, and sure enough, I filled up one time and made it all the way down to Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach is a 8-hour? Is it a 6 or 8-hour drive? I think it's a 6-hour drive. But we made it all the way down there effortlessly. It was just like, and then once I got there, we filled up and drove all the way around, and then I drove all the way back home with the same tank. So to me, I was like, remember, I was paying $60 every 2 days to now I am paying $35. But the note, man, But I'm like, so, people were like, well, you can refinance it. Thing is, if you refinance something like this, you looking at a 13%, and the car is already at a 6. I was always taught years ago, never get a car note. My granddad always told me that you want to make sure all your vehicles are paid for in cash. My father was like, shoot, you only live once. You only live once. So, so I'm asking God, because I'm just like, and I wanted the same ride. So I've been looking for the same exact car. Now, this is another kicker. I don't know what Toyota is doing, but these particular XSEs, it's hard for you to get. And now with the new models, the 2024s, they only do like, if you want this car, you can have it, but it only has front wheel, or it only has rear wheel drive or whatever. It's like they've increased the package, so it's just like, it makes sense for me to just keep what I got, because the new ones that come out with the same, right now I owe, like, I think they told me I owe like 45 on it, and the new vehicles are like 50 something, but they talking about $1,200 car notes. I'm like, y'all out y'all rabbit mind. I'm already pissed I'm paying what I'm paying, but then I had to tell myself this. When I'm driving, it's like I'm going to Kansas when I'm going home. I'm going out of the city into a rural area where there's deer and there's this and there's that. And some of y'all say, well, but I'm like, at the end of the day, I've had it for 2 years. I thought maybe, I don't know why I thought, because I didn't read between the lines. I thought it was only like 2 more years left on the car. I was like, all right, bet I can rock that out. And when they hit me with 5, I said, 5? What do you mean 5? What are you trying to say? So I'm asking God for, because right now I don't have another vehicle, and I have to get to work to make money. So there's only 2 solutions to this. Either I get rid of the car and get something cheap that I'm not going to like and hate, and then probably regret that I got rid of it. Or I just go ahead and go forward with it and make more money, and it won't even faze me. So that's my decisions going into 2023. But I'm trying to be very, responsible and not stupid. I don't want to make, but I've already invested daggone almost $30,000. I mean, what the heck? But I'm trying to, but y'all get what I'm saying. I'm trying to make the right decision. And I do like this vehicle. Like, this vehicle actually works for me. You can call it a mommy wagon all you want. You say you can't drink because your kidneys hurt and I get headaches. That's good for you. I know some, well, not good for you. Sorry, ma'am. I understand what you're saying. Your kidneys hurt and you get headaches. But that's good you cannot drink. That's good you're not drinking. I know somebody that doesn't drink. I know a couple of folks that just don't drink alcohol anymore. I would like to get to that level, but I still do like to, from occasion, I like a nice champagne or a nice wine. And I love crystal flutes. Like, I just bought me a whole set. And sometimes I put like water and lemon in it and stuff. But I am trying to get to a level where I'm only an occasional drinker anyway. Like, I don't go home and make me a cocktail. A matter of fact, I met a couple of co-workers that was like, oh yeah, when I met her, I said, you make cocktails at home? Oh yes, girl. Oh yes, I can make a real good cocktail now. I'm like, I can't sit up there and be, only like if I'm off and I don't have to go to work or it's something, but I can't sit up there and have a mixture bar or whatever like that and just be sipping. Like, no. In moderation. But I am trying to be more disciplined in my affairs when I am celebrating. You got to be sober out here. You got to be sober to see what's going on. But I have to. Y'all gotta lose these pounds. I gotta lose 30 pounds. I looked very nice when I went out the other day, but I wasn't like how I used to look, like clothes just draping off the girl. I looked like a stuffed sausage. And y'all, the shoes that I had on, this is another thing too. Going into the new year, I have to stop being so cheap. Thinking like, oh, this is so much. You know, like it took me like 30, 40 minutes to make a decision if I wanted to buy these beautiful heels. Y'all, these heels were so gorgeous. They looked like the Cinderella slippers. They was just so, they had gems on it that when the light hit it, honey, bling, 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 bling. Like, I mean, they were gorgeous. But the price on them was just like, And guess how much they were? They were $100, but they were on sale for like 70 something. So I got them for like $80. That's not a lot of money. And I was like, should I do this? And I was just like, Mona, get it together. Like, you know, God wants the best for us. And sometimes we be so cheap, or sometimes we be like, oh, I just don't believe that God is going to provide. No, he wanted. Honestly, I believe that. I believe that the Father had them shoes waiting for me. Like, Mona, what do you think about these? Because they were, all the other shoes in there looked a hot daggone mess. And I'm like, I just need a really nice pump. I don't need anything that's going to have my toes out in the open. Because one thing I wasn't going to do is I didn't feel like doing my toes. I didn't. I clipped them bad boys, but I was like, I don't feel like doing all the whole gel set and all of that. So I need something where my feet was going to be covered up, you know. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I needed something that was, you know, really nice. And I couldn't. And the only reason why it took me so long to make a decision is because I knew I had to pay more for that shoe. But the shoe went perfectly with the dress that I had on. It went perfect with that dress. And so going into the new year, I mean, what I like, I'm going for it. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm just going to believe and have faith that it will. I think, you know, sometimes when we hear about, oh, the economy and this and that, we kind of get afraid and we don't want to take chances, or we feel like gloom and doom is happening, so why should I even try? And a lot of it is because we lack the faith. Ooh, please don't take my photo. A lot of it is because we lacked faith, or we thought that God wasn't going to provide. You know? So I'm going to seriously be very prayerful of going to my 2024. I'm going to be a little bit more open-minded, because I feel like, again, I've isolated myself in a box where I did not want to allow any new things to come in my life, any new acquaintances, friends, and it got to the point where I started feeling a little lonely. I started feeling like I didn't have anyone to talk to. And I had a conversation with God about it, and I was like, Lord, I'm lonely. You know, like there's nobody to talk to. And I thought about my daughter when I go home. She's waiting on me. You know, my mom, I speak to her. But I was like, you know, I really felt like I was just getting, like I had nobody to call, nobody to talk to. And when I would call my god sister, she may not answer her phone. My cousin is busy with her boyfriend, and you know, everybody's grown and they got their own lives. Like nobody's, you know. And I was just like, I just, you know, I realized that I was getting a little lonely. And I'm gonna tell you another thing too. When I went out with my sister, and they do like some line dancing type stuff. Them ladies can dance. I was like, I'm going to learn this tonight. You can get a good workout in there. But anywho, when and I'm gonna start doing that too. I'm gonna start going to the dance place over there, because it's free and you get a good workout. You're just laughing and having fun and just dancing. But and also too, I love the place because it's age restricted. They only want 35 and older. So anybody that's under that, you can't hang. You can't hang with the big dogs. But I like it because it's no riffraff, it's no drama, and everybody there has a story, or they're just very polite and very, very nice, and they just get out to just socialize and just dance. So it's so funny when I hear the new generation talk about nobody goes to the club and dance anymore. Shoot, y'all ain't been up in here. Like, these people be dancing. They go in, they old school. They go. Remember when we used to go to the club? We used to sweat our hair out. We used to be in there dancing. You was in great shape. We was in great shape in the 2000s. We was in great shape, because when we went to the club, we know what we came to do. We came to have a good time and dance. We was on the dance floor like, what? So these same folks, a little older like y'all, I seen a couple get on the dance floor, and the lady had a cane in her hand, and she was dancing like I don't know what. I be seeing people when they pull up the Metro, what's it called, Metro Access, dropping them off. They ain't come to have no problems but to have a good time. So I realized I had isolated myself. Well, I mean, I don't deal with riffraff or whatever like that, but you still want to be able to socialize and still be able to get out and do things. And I've been saying this for the longest time, that I want to, very long time, that I've been wanting to do like a dinner party. I'm hosting that, and I did a lot of stuff with my family. Usually when I do big stuff, it's usually at my place or whatever. But I wanted to get back in it, because lately I just been like in an isolation mode. Like, I don't feel like being bothered. I don't want to talk to anybody. And then I got used, when I was crazy from a person who used to perform. It felt foreign. Like, I'm looking around, and you know, it just, I just felt foreign. And when I went out with my sister, they had this slow jam. It was like, anybody out there who's in love with somebody and got a significant other, put your hands up. And some people did, and they were out there slow jamming, and I kind of was playing with my friend, and I kind of like motioned my arms in the air like an invisible man that I was dancing with, and she started cracking up, and she's motioning her arms too, because we were manless. And then I had a conversation with God, and I was like, Father, sometimes this can get really lonely not having anybody. And then, of course, and then that only lasts for a couple of seconds, and then I'm on to other things. But when I went out with my friend, when I went out with my friend, it felt really nice to be around a different group of people, and it felt really nice too for somebody to actually like you, even though the circumstances, I'm like, I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. But I mean, because sometimes you can get to the point where you would think like, am I not attractive? Am I ugly? Like, what the freak? What's going on? What's going on? Like, so I had to kind of like really like, ask God to work on it and really have a real conversation with God about that. But going into the new year, I do want to be more social. And I do still, I am really praying, y'all. What I really want to do is take my daughter on that Disney Wish cruise ship. I really want to take her on that. I want the room that has the balcony. And I really want to take her on that Disney Wish. And in the past I've been afraid to kind of travel by myself, because you know when you with a child you want to make sure. But I'm like, I ain't waiting for nobody. She's 8, she'll be soon to be 9. She's old enough, she holds my hand and she pays attention, and I'm like, I really want to take her, and I want to go on that Disney Wish cruise ship. I really do. I really, 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 really do. And I just really hope and pray that this year, 2024, what you cook for Christmas dinner, oh my gosh. I really hope 2024 will be the year that I'm able to take her. For, what did I cook? I didn't cook anything. See, it's different when you got a daughter she doesn't eat meat, and my mother is on some veggie type stuff that I'm on. So I didn't cook anything. My mother cooked. It was like some soup noodles. My daughter ate some pizza. I ate a couple of slices. But I didn't do anything for Christmas. I didn't cook. I usually don't really cook for Christmas dinners. And then again, like I said, when you're not cooking for someone, you kind of do your own thing. My mother, she eats she eats in a very particular way that I eat that like that too. And my daughter, she doesn't eat meat. She would eat chicken nuggets. She would eat pepperoni off of a pizza. But chicken and fish and all that, she's not having it. She ain't having it at all. Chicken tenders, please. You can't put that in her face. But she'll eat like chicken nuggets. But yesterday I think she had pizza. Breakfast she had her toast and cream cheese. But that's another thing too. I've been eating a lot of bread. I've been eating a lot of bread. I've been eating a lot of bread, y'all. So going into, I'm gonna start looking up these tickets. I'm gonna have to pray and be like, Father, I really wanna, Lord, I really wanna go to Disney Wish and have an excellent time. I wanna go to Disney Wish, take my baby so we can fly out there. We would have to fly, catch a bus, get on the boat. Then from there and I hope my god sister will be able to go, but I'm not waiting for nobody. And my old job ruined my experience about when I was trying to go, but hey. Also too, I want to do some new landscaping, and I also want to do new landscaping, and I gotta make sure I get some stuff prep in that back there. And what else do I need to do? I have to really eat. So anyway, I bought so this is what I'm gonna have for my lunch: orange, apple, and I have me like a protein shake. Oh, you said that's like your youngest daughter. She doesn't eat meat except chicken nuggets, fried fish, and pepperoni. Yeah, kids are very particular. When I was young, I hated eating meat. I hated that they wanted me to eat meat. I was like, I don't want this. Because I just didn't like it. I didn't like the smell of it. And then as I got older, I haven't had meat like chicken in years. But it's the starch, it's the pasta. And I'm gonna tell you something too that I noticed. When you start having like bad eating habits, meaning you just eating like a big girl eating, your stomach expands. And when you're hungry, you always want to eat, and you're eating around the clock because your stomach is used to getting ate like that. But when you cut down to eating, your stomach shrinks. So your stomach will only take what the size of it. And so I have to get back to that area, and I have to get back to that area where I'm working out. But this time, I have to put weightlifting into my whole routine, because what I'm finding out is like the older you get, you feel things more. I be like, why do I feel like somebody kicked me in my back? And the whole time, my brain, I be talking to myself like, Mona, why are you lifting these bags? You are not 20 or 30 something, like you are 41. Get somebody else to do it. That's another thing too, when you don't have a male around. Because I sometimes feel like I could do it myself, and I have been doing it by myself, but my body is just like clack, 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 clack. You know what I mean? Like my body is just like and now my brain be like, don't touch it, and I don't. I'll find another way to get it, but I'm not lifting. I'm not going to be lifting stuff to throw my back out. I told you that one time when I had a load and I was dropping off some water. What was it? It was some sodas, and the guy came out the house to help grab the stuff. And it was one more thing to get, and I said, I'm gonna see what he gonna do. I knew that I was gonna be struggling lifting that thing. He swooped that thing up with one hand. It was like, thanks, ma'am. And I was like, whoa. Whoa. I'm not gonna be struggling. I'm not gonna be struggling. But anyway, y'all, I am here at work. So going into the new year. Look at this, man. This trash is just up there. Now I can understand that because of the holidays. Let me drive through this property and see how it is. I'm at work right now. I guess everybody said, okay, I get it. I get it. It was Christmas. I'm going to make sure y'all better come in and get this trash. Good morning. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day today. Yeah, well, I hope that Disney Wish don't have any mechanical issues when I get on it. Because we dispatching my angels. But I've been wanting to get on it since the ship first came out. And that's a fairly new ship. So I'm going to have to look up those videos. But I don't want to get discouraged by not getting on, by not going on that ship ride. I don't, because what else am I going to do? I'm just going to sit around for another year and be like, dang, I wish I would have went. So I don't know, God's willing, if I'm allowed to, I got one. I studied and looked at them rooms that I wanted. Look at this beautiful cat. Poor thing, looking for a house and a home. Sorry, I got 2 felines myself. And when them daggone cats, when the good Lord calls them home, I'm not getting no more animals. Solo, Faith, Thomasina, I'm out. That's it. No more animals for me, not even a fish. Yeah, but I'm going to look up them videos, but I don't want to get discouraged from not going. A lot of things when I was younger discouraged me from traveling because, I didn't think, black people, they didn't like black people if you travel here. And what if the plane doesn't, the engine goes out, or, oh gosh, what if, it discouraged me. My parents never really traveled when I was younger. So it discouraged me. And I didn't think that traveling was even possible. Why are these people still here? They're going to get told. That's fine with me. So anyway, y'all, Y'all have a blessed day today. Oh, I got 2 cats, and them they used to be sweet as pies until Solo passed away, and they became boss cats. If my cats had commercial, boss cats coming to a theater near you. As soon as I walk through the door, meow. Faith always hitting her tail like, get your hot over here and fill this bowl up. Boss cats. Meow. Yeah, but I said I ain't having no more after them. They're sweet as pies, but they verbally they use their vocals to let me know they're displeased because their bowls aren't filled up and in a timely manner. Y'all have a blessed day too.